guys, welcome back to another furniture transformation. In today's episode, I'm going to try to keep painting at a minimum. So don't go anywhere and stick it around for today's modern dresser makeover. It all started during a snowy evening when we decided to visit our nearest secondhand store. But to be honest, my hopes to finding anything weren't high. When all of a sudden, I haven't found anything in a very long time at the thrift stores furniture-wise, so I'm stuck. Time to load the dresser! Although the weather wasn't ideal, this find made it all worth it. It's a good find, so that I'm okay with it. One of the things that I really appreciate when buying or donating at Goodwill in comparison to other secondhand stores is that Goodwill has a pickup drop-off enclosed garage-like area. So during the winter months, I'm not freezing my butt off while I wait for the guys to bring the stuff out and load it into the back of the car. And I'm sure they appreciate it even more. What? The main reason why I want to stay away from painting any parts of the dresser is because bare wood modern pieces like this one have been selling like hot pancakes in my area. At a first glance, it's clear that there's some wood veneer around the top edges that's missing, and I want to see if I can replace it. The more I inspected it, like it often happens, the more damage in the veneer I found. But I'm not ready to give up on a restoration today. The inside of the drawers were in great condition, and then I found this piece of wood, so I'm assuming that at some point there was a mirror that was attached to this dresser. I'm not a big fan, so I think these are gonna go bye-bye. 2 days prior to starting the project, I started searching for walnut wood veneer online, and unfortunately, it was gonna take way too long. So I decided to visit my local woodworking shop. They had some types of walnut wood veneer, but not the type that I needed. So the search continues. This drawer is pretty snug, but sometimes if you flip them around, that does the trick. So I'm gonna try it and see. It's a lot better there, but this side right here, the finish has rubbed off and I can just feel it when I'm pulling, so we have to sand these down quite a bit. Let's get some supplies. The only type of veneer. No, I can't say I've seen it. What I did find was this walnut color wood filler, which gave me a little bit of a hope that I could still restore the dresser. For the first sanding round, I used 120 grit, but after a little while, it didn't seem like I was getting very far with it, so I ended up switching to 100, which seemed to move things a little bit faster. Perhaps it was a little risky of me to sand the damaged veneer areas. I just made sure to move the sander slowly through there. To remove the finish from these tight corners, I'm using the carbide scraper. I want to recommend 2 things you should avoid when using this tool. Avoid pushing too hard on it, as this can leave marks or damage a veneer that's already fragile. The second thing is to avoid going too fast with it. The smaller the movement, the better control you have of the scraper. Since I had seen other people sand legs using a drill, I thought I should give it a try, but this just didn't work for me, as the sanding sheet kept flying off. My hands weren't the only thing that the discs were flying off of, but also my sander. I'm sanding, and apparently I need to order a new part for my Surfprep because look. Oh. But anyway, there. It's not sticking. You don't need a pricey sander to finish your projects. And I'm actually using one from Bauer. This is a battery operated one, and that's your battery right there. When you're ready to use it, you just slide it back in. Oops. Now that we're done sanding, there's one final step before making repairs, and that is to give the dresser a good final rinse. I'm using a TSP alternate and water mix here. The edges of this damaged wood veneer need to be re-glued. Normally I would use a syringe to inject the glue, however I use the syringes so often that now and then I run out. When I do, toothpicks come to the rescue. They work, but they're not ideal for this repair. Let's go ahead and cover the gaps left by the missing veneer using this walnut color wood filler. The challenge with this tinted wood filler is to find an exact color match to the rest of the wood veneer. And today wasn't an exception. In fact, you're gonna see it in a minute or two because it's very obvious. As the product dries, it turns lighter. Not only that, but when you sand it so it's smooth, it turns even lighter. And this right here is the reason why I was trying so hard to find the walnut wood veneer that would match. But a solution that has worked for me in the past is to stain those lighter color areas with a stain color that matches the rest of the dresser. I always find that early American from Bauer is a good match for this type of walnut. In case you're wondering how many coats you have to apply to make those areas camouflage, I ended up applying 3 coats. One of the advantages of using wood filler to make this type of repair versus wood veneer is the cost. It's way cheaper to do it this way, but the trick is, can I camouflage the repair enough so that the dresser is still gonna look beautiful? That's something you're just gonna have to wait and see if we can accomplish. To shield the bare wood from future scratches, I'm applying 3 coats of Armor Seal from General Finishes, using some gloves and a sock to apply it. When using this oil-based top coat during the winter months, I wait 2 hours between one coat and the next, and as you're gonna see in this next take, I wipe off any excess right away using a shop paper towel. Stirring the product constantly while using it is important. Avoiding backbrushing will reduce the chance of bubbles forming on the finish as it dries. If you see the bubbles forming, let the product dry, then sand using an extra fine sanding sheet and remove the dust before applying the next coat. Another challenge that I encountered was some wood discoloration in the legs. I didn't like how they looked after I was done applying the first coat of top coat. That's why before applying the second coat of Armor Seal, I added some early American stain to it. That really helped cover up the unevenness in the color. Let's take a quick look at how the dresser started at the beginning of the video and how it looks today. I absolutely love the bare wood look. Do you think I was able to camouflage the repairs? This dresser sold for $799. My profit was $700, so I'm super happy with the results and the profit I made out of this flip. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I will see you guys next time.